Right, so there's been a lot of talk in the media lately about everyday humans going to space and us going to Mars. And this wouldn't make sense that this would be happening anytime in the near future because of technology, cost, and safety. Um, there's a lot of difficult things, and one of them sustaining life. This include shelter, transportation, food, types of food, basic needs, or protecting people from elements of space. Obviously, space is a very dangerous place, and factors such as temperature, gravity, and the pressure of space can make it difficult. And then Phil Davis and Steve Carney from NASA have said the temperature on Mars can be as high as 70 degrees Fahrenheit or as low as negative 225 degrees Fahrenheit. So obviously this would be very difficult to live in if you consider clothing and protection. And some parts of Mars you wouldn't even be able to live on. And also they could be non-predictable too, so you wouldn't really know when those cold temperatures are coming in. With more travelers and more time spent in space, there'd have to be a massive amount of food and materials brought as well. This could raise the challenge of the weight of the food and the materials. Borum CEO from Worcester Polytechnic Institute said for a 3-year round trip to Mars, thousands of kilograms of food would then be needed. A crew of 4 would need to carry 10,886 kilograms of food with them to space. So yeah, that's a lot of weight, and that's only for a crew of 4. So imagine if we brought 100 people, which would be realistic if we're sending everyday people to space and it becomes a regular thing. So this heavy weight can cause problems with the trajectory of the rockets. Obviously, the heavier the weight, the harder it is to get the rocket off the ground and into space. A similar problem that would add weight is shelter. You need building materials, obviously, for bringing stuff to space that will also weigh down the rocket. And it would also, the structures of whatever we would build would be difficult to build because of the difference in gravity. And obviously, rockets these days are not nearly as powerful to reach Mars, so I don't know how it would be able to carry a bunch of people to Mars. And then, for example, the Starship sent out by SpaceX a couple weeks ago was the biggest and heaviest rocket to ever be launched. It's to see if humans could get a rocket that size and weight, like outside of our atmosphere. And Leah Crane from Science Direct said the Starship was intended to carry humans to the moon, eventually to Mars. So yeah, this is basically a model of like an actual launch. And it didn't go to plan. It barely made it out of the atmosphere and blew up. So I don't know how it'd be able to make it all the way to Mars and all the way back with a bunch of people on it and a bunch of materials and probably even more weight. And then another factor is the cost of everything. Throughout history, only a few humans at a time have been sent out of space. Like I said before, if it becomes an everyday thing, they're going to send out like hundreds of people at a time. It's not just going to be a few. And then, yeah, with all those people, like I said before, there's like food, basic needs, and shelter they'd have to consider. That could also lead into the cost. And then things such as fuel, the rocket itself, and money to pay the engineers and the technology with those specific living conditions would be another big factor. And then Borum CEO from the Polytechnic Institute said, in this state of technology, every launched space shuttle costs between 500 and 700 million. So yeah, obviously this would be very difficult and to pay for. And even in today's world, only the richest people could pay for a space launch. And basically, if we were to have more people and all those things, so heavier weight, more people, more basic needs, more food, that would cost in like the hundreds of billions of dollars, which I don't know how anyone could afford. And then, so yeah, I don't see everyday space travel becoming a thing anytime soon because of all these reasons. That's it.